We won the GT3 category last year, and believe it or not, we got a wildcard entry for the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
This championship rocks. 2019 is on. Catch us if you can.
Welcome to Le Castellet for the opening round of the 2019 Michelin Le Mans Cup. This fourth edition of the Cup sets new records this year with 31 cars on the grid. 21 of those are in LMP3, and we've got 5 different manufacturers in the GT3 category. So let's take a look.
The Michelin Le Mans Cup is back for its 4th year. Crews are made up of a professional and an amateur driver in each car. The 6-event schedule includes the prestigious Road to Le Mans, the curtain raiser to the legendary 24 Hours. The champions in the LMP3 class win a drive in the same category in the European Le Mans Series next season, while the car crowned in GT3 will be offered a wildcard entry for the 24 Hours of Le Mans next year, racing in the GTE AM class. The varied GT3 pack features 5 manufacturers: Ferrari, Mercedes, Lamborghini, Porsche and Aston Martin. And fresh from its 2018 title win, the number 8 Kessel Racing Ferrari remains very much the car to beat.
They're going to do some proper work, I'm sure. I have high expectations, and I'm very confident in my teammate. I'm sure he will do some serious competition for these guys. To be honest, I hope that I can follow a little bit in his footsteps, and with his guidance, then we can pull it all together. We do a lot of work with data, a lot of video work and stuff, and just progressively making better here and there, and trying to make every corner tie in together well.
This year I raced with a Ferrari 488 in GT3. Last year I was in LMP3. Yeah, it's a huge change for me. I think it's quite okay, the BOP, the balance of performance. If you are a good LMP3 driver, then in the GT3 you should be alright. So I think this year I can do well. The only goal is to win the championship with my teammate Michael Mack to get Le Mans invitation.
I think Aston have done a fabulous job. The move up from the DBRS9 to the Vantage was a massive step up, and I think this is a step up again. And I think it puts them very much in competition with the Ferraris, the Mercedes and the Lambos. And Porsche are always there as well. So I don't think we fear anybody. I think we're here to race anybody. And if I've got somebody in front of me, I'll try and catch them.
We had an excellent time in the championship here 2 years ago. The interesting thing is that the cars here are all so different, and they're all so good. I'm pretty sure the differences are going to be made on track by the drivers. Racing with a pro is a huge advantage for a bronze driver like me in terms of performance, racing skills and safety. This is a championship that really suits me.
Working myself for about 10 years. Previous to that, I was a partner in an oil trading firm. Oh, Spa, or maybe Le Mans. Very fast, persuasive, and a good coach. Just wealthy enough to go racing, just. Feeling the way it handles, it corners, just amazing. a Volvo XC90 hybrid. Probably fastest lap. Four. I don't think you have enough time to hear my best joke. It is, without doubt, the start of the race because obviously everybody's very close at that time. I'm not a gambler, but quite a lot.
The LMP3 class has a familiar look to it. The reigning champions, number 3 DKR engineering crew, have made their brand new lineup feel very welcome.
I feel good in the car. We have made some good days of testing during this winter. It's a big challenge. I choose it because I love this championship. I love these categories, the LMP3. Lawrence can give me some advice when I make a stint, and it's very helpful to have a look on the data with him. We could be a lot of team on the podium for Saturday, so we will see during the race. For sure, I don't want to have too much pressure for now.
Runners-up in the 2017 Michelin Le Mans Cup and third in 2018, the number 2 Nielsen Racing crew will be pushing hard to beat DKR Engineering this time out.
Second and third, so it would be nice to do something at least the same or maybe better this time. We're in Michelin Cup. Michelin Cup's one of my favourite things we do. For the last 2 years, obviously, we've been with Ligier, and the team switched to Norma, so we're hoping for the same reliability. Certainly for Michelin Cup, it seems to have some advantage, maybe, at least in the straights.
A number of teams and drivers are making their first ever endurance racing appearance here in Le Castellet.
I wanted to get into endurance racing for quite some time now, and the objective was always this year to compete in the Michelin Le Mans Cup. I'm lucky to have 2 very good drivers that I'm sharing with this season, David and Gary Hauser. It's giving me a lot of confidence coming into qualifying and testing. First race of the season, new car, new championship. It's always a case where you have to step up a bit.
It's a nice track. It's a bit confusing when you're first out here because it's just white lines on a lump of tarmac, but when you get to know where the white lines go, it's fine. For me, it's enjoyment. Car feels great. If we get a podium, it'll be a very big bonus, I can assure you.
We are ready to get the opening round of the 2019 Michelin Le Mans Cup underway. In LMP3, it's newcomer Francois Kerman who clinched at home the first pole of the season for reigning champions DKR Engineering. In GT3, it's Fabien Laverne. He is a former pole sitter in Michelin Le Mans Cup LMP3, but this time he's in a Ferrari 488 GT3 with Lurzik Racing. So we're all set here at Le Castellet. Let's go racing.
Our LMP3 pole sitter Francois Kerman leads the field to the line, while heading up GT3, pole sitter Fabien Laverne in the Ferrari.
We have started the Michelin Le Mans Cup of Le Castellet.
Poleman on driver's left. The charge down to the first corner. Look for the orange nose. The DKR number 3 car. The champion turns in front. Francois Kierman holds the lead from Graf Racing's Adrian Kieler. Have they all made it through safely? No, somebody's off. Kia Racing's number 43. That's the Dane, Mikael Markussen. He started in 10th, and there's third place, a little distance back from our lead duo. That's Michael Benham, and Charlie Martin's been jumped by the red, white and blue car of Eric Trier, the second of the Graf Racing cars. He's up to 4th. Down the Mistral Straight, this is our GT3 leader, Fabien Laverne, steaming by the Cool Racing LMP3 Ligier that was a row behind him on the grid. He's up to 6th place overall. That is incredible. And his closest rival, the number 8 Kessel Racing Ferrari, the reigning champions, 6 places further back in 12th. Let's take a look again at the start with Francois Kierman closest to us on pole position for DKR. The front row men side by side. Third place on his own, Michael Benham. He gets the ideal racing line. And a little further back, big ambition from 10th place by Mikael Markussen. Now watch the Dane. Drifts out a little wide, takes a few liberties with the curbs in the first couple of corners. Maybe just a nudge from behind as well. Luckily, nobody else collected him as he found a gap in traffic. He's right ahead of us as we ride on board with Fabien Laverne, the GT3 pole sitter. That was close. Michael Benham in 3rd place, red, white and blue. Eric Trier, that's Graf in 4th. And Charlie Martin, she's in 5th place for racing experience. The team and driver new to the championship today. First day of racing action. Michael Benham and Eric Trier, though, with their teams, both well-known rivals in the Michelin Le Mans Cup. Oh, trouble in Tours, the penultimate corner. Cars off everywhere. 3 LMP3 cars venturing over the runoff area. What happens here? Oh, 2 into 1 doesn't go. Mikael Markussen cut off by the GT3 Ferrari of Christoph Ulrich there. Not so much of a problem for our GT3 leader, Fabien Laverne, for Lutzisch Racing. Working his way through LMP3 traffic, still firmly up in the top 10. If they continue with this pace, this could be a very good race indeed for the newcomers. Battle for 3rd, up to senior, flat out. Michael Benham just ahead of Eric Trier, Lannon Racing and Graf Racing. They've shaken off Charlie Martin, there she is, just about 3/4 of a second behind. And that allows Trier to focus a little more on the man in front rather than guarding from attack from behind. Down into the tight section at the end of the lap. Looking for an opportunity. Oh, and he lunges down the inside at Virage Dupont, the final right-hander. And as ever, the man who defends on the outside runs out wide. Now he comes back on with a little bit of momentum, but can he hang on? And will he be allowed to? Yellow flags are out. But that's at the double right at Beausset, further back on the lap. Whoa, Eric Trier squeezes in front, so Graf Racing now 2nd and 3rd. Battle for 9th in LMP3. Mark Kradar turned around by the number 14 RLR M Sport car. That's Christian Stuber-Olsen, the Dane. He continues. And our new boy from Grain Market facing the wrong way. Trouble in the pits early, and this is an unscheduled stop at Krypton Motorsport for Marco Zanutini. Dive into double droit de Beausset, Marcello Marittiotto overcooking it. The Swiss for DKR Engineering was attacking CD Sports' Jacques Wolf way too late on the brakes, and that will ruin his tyres on those heavily titanium-grained multicoloured stripes. Wade Boyd, this is for 3rd place. United Autosports driver carved his way up through the field. He's got by Eric Trier for 3rd. He's just got by Michael Benham, the Lannon Racing driver, just at the back of the shot. Wayne Boyd absolutely flying. Christian Olsen on the inside is Jacques Wolf. That's for 8th place. This time he gets through with no contact in the RLR M Sport car. So he moves up the order. Spin for Charlie Martin here, and Tony Wells sneaks by for Nielsen to take 6th off her. Cedric Mézard in the Lamborghini, GT3 7th place now, ahead of Paolo Venerosi in the Ebby Motors Porsche. Battle for 4th place coming up the Mistral Straight for Graf Racing Eric Trier. Michael Benham wants to get back in front of his old rival. The Lannon Racing car tucked right up behind. Trouble again for Charlie Martin. A racing experienced driver out wide, again in the penultimate corner. And that won't be doing her confidence or her tyres any good. Race leader Francois Kierman for DKR, 9 seconds clear of second position. And here's our GT3 leader, Fabien Laverne, 4 seconds ahead of Sergio Pianazzola, who's second in the Kessel Racing Ferrari in GT3. Trouble for John Sharman, the Cool Racing car, the number 4 machine, heavily into the guardrail, exiting the final corner. So he goes out wide here, spins up on the curbs. Oh, and that is a big impact.
Safety car deployed.
And more cars off in the first couple of corners. Number 5 there with the green highlights, that's Marcello Marattiotto, and again struggling to keep the car on the track. They are going to need new tyres on that car when the pit window opens. A little too early for that just yet, but we are getting close. Chance for the marshals to do some housekeeping and clear up the debris. Always collects down there in turns 2 and 3.
Track is back to green.
And now look at Francois Kierman. He's got Wayne Boyd right behind him. That is the lead battle. First and second close right up by the safety car. And this is our GT3 leader, Fabien Laverne for Lucic Racing, putting a lap on Paolo Venerosi's 88 Porsche. And in his mirrors, the blue number 8 Ferrari Kessel Racing's Sergio Pianazzola is right there. That's the lead battle in GT3. Both battles nose to tail, and pit stops are imminent. Fantastic racing.
We have a car stopped at D14, drivers left. Safety car deployed.
Well, that is your International's Jean-Marc Lippmann out on the exit of the final corner. That is a very dangerous place. So the safety car out for the second time. And what happens to J.M. Lippmann? Well, there was contact further back. Looks like he got involved in that.
It's going to be a straight fight between Colin, Tappy, Schatz.
That's Nielsen Racing chatting to Tony Wells. Safety car's out. Leader in the pit lane, Francois Kierman hands over to Lawrence Herr. Fabien Laverne hands over the GT3 leading Ferrari to Mikkel Mack. And in traffic, what happens? Eric Thuillier on the pit entrance gets hit from behind.
We have 7 cars reported for leaving, 8 cars reported for leaving the pits, 9, 10, 11. It's going to be interesting.
Yes, they are leaving the pits behind the safety car queue.
Green flags on track, no overtaking before the line.
But there may be penalties to pay if the pit exit light was red. We go green once more. Half the race done, half to go. Driver changes have been completed. And the field is a mixed up mess of cars from both classes in all sorts of positions. Alessandro Baccani in the Ebby Motors Porsche turned around by, it looked like the number 30 CD Sport LMP3 car. And I think Duncan Tappy for Lannon Racing in the number 25 machine also got a touch. Lead battle, Graf Racing versus Graf Racing. Ignore the other cars. That's Adrien Thuillier, number 9, and Nicolas Schatz in number 39. So Graf Racing 1-2 at the moment. Team watching on from the garage. Adrien Thuillier, Nicolas Schatz, not too far behind. Look at the orange. And that is Lawrence Herr, DKR, having to dive through on the inside of the Ferrari. Went off track. He's staying ahead of Duncan Tappy. That's why. There's Tappy, 25, red and white Lannon Racing. Oh, and the two Graf Racing cars are very close together. Nicolas Schatz tried a move. It didn't work. And Lawrence Herr goes through for second. Duncan Tappy is right there on the inside. Schatz tries to come back, can't. Gets the door shut on Tappy though. 1, 2, 3, 4 across the line. Here's the battle for third place. Nicolas Schatz versus Duncan Tappy. Tappy goes onto the racing line. Schatz on the inside. Tappy around the outside into turn 1. It'll become his inside line in turn 2. That was a big move from Duncan Tappy. That was a pro driver's move. Fantastic stuff to take third place. Now, can he close on the leaders? This is the battle at the head of GT3, and it is the inverse of how it was before the pit stops. Number 8 Kessel Racing, Giacomo Piccini ahead of Lucic Racing 71, driven by Mikkel Mack. Adrian Trier still ahead of Lawrence Hurd, the number 3 car there. Oh look, Graf Racing car's gone very wide, a real door open opportunity. Lawrence Hurd could barely avoid passing Adrian Trier there. That was a big mistake by the Graf Racing car.
The 12 cars which left pit exit with the red lights are getting a 2-minute stop-and-go penalty.
Well, among them is the number 71 Lucic Racing car. They make their stop and go. They'll be held for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, here is Duncan Tappy on the attack for second place inside at Senior. Passes Adrian Trier in the Graf Racing entry. DKR's Lawrence Hurd out front, but he is under investigation for that off-track pass.
Car 3, drive-through penalty for overtaking and keeping his position with his direct competitor beyond the track limits.
So the problem wasn't passing the Ferrari, it was that he got by the Landon Racing car as well. That's Tom Olsen, RLRM Sports number 14 car. Flat out of Senior, and changes his mind, or the car changes it for him. High speed lose and into the wall. Lots of left rear damage, that's not drivable. Landon Racing crew looking happy, less than 20 minutes to go in the lead.
3, 2, 1, full course yellow, full course yellow. I will be recovering the car at T9 with the money too.
Lawrence Hurd was the race leader for DKR Engineering, the number 3 car now down in 4th place. Duncan Tappy leading comfortably for Landon Racing. Closing stages, here is the battle for third. Number 9 for Graf, Adrian Trier. 39, Nicola Schatzen out very wide. The number 3 car sweeps around the outside. Lawrence Hurd takes third, but he did it illegally. Surely he'll have to give it back. His teammate probably thinks so. Last lap of the race. Duncan Tappy's going to win this for Landon, but who's going to be on the podium? Currently it's 2 Graf cars. Lawrence Hurd sees the door open, lunges to the inside. There's contact in turn 3. He shunts Nicola Schatz out the way. Will the stewards be happy with that? Right now he doesn't care. He's desperate to put the number 3 car on the podium. Final corner for Duncan Tappy. Landon Racing are going to win the opening race of the 2019 Michelin Le Mans Cup.
You won. Great job, great driving. Proud of you.
Victory in GT3 for the reigning champions, Kessel Racing's number 8 Ferrari and Giacomo Piccini. But the drama didn't stop with the checkered flag. Both Graf Racing cars were given a 35-second time penalty post-race for not bringing their speed down to 80 k's under a full course yellow quickly enough, and that promoted the number 3 DKR car up to second. Nielsen got third, and Racing Experience's Charlie Martin and Gary Hauser got fourth. First in GT, Kessel Racing's Ferrari 10th overall, with SPS in second and Lucic claiming the final podium spot. All in all, with the safety cars and full course yellows, it was a confusing race for the newcomers, and there was a degree of carnage in the field. So speed and experience told for Landon Racing.
There was never a dull moment really until the full course yellow at the end, where just finding out information, seeing who was where and just trying to keep it all together to bring it home. But what a job for this man, eh?
Michael Benham and Duncan Tappy with Landon Racing celebrate victory in the season opener at Le Castellet. And thanks to pole position and the extra point, DKR are 6 points behind the championship leaders, with Nielsen Racing in third spot. Speed and experience were also the key to GT3 victory.
Sergio did a great stint. You know, he was really close to the first position, and then luckily we managed to overtake them in the pit stop. A bit of luck, of course, but a great team job as usual.
After the miscue in their pit stop, Fabian Laverne and Mikkel Mack took third for Lusic Racing. Dexter Muller and Yannick Mettler for SPS Automotive Performance and their Mercedes were the runners-up behind the Kessel Racing number 8 Ferrari. So last year's champions remain the benchmark in the GT3 class, at least for the moment. They lead from SPS and Lusic, who got the extra point for pole position here. Next time out, it's Ferrari home ground in May at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. We'll see you there.